In the West Bank, in the Middle East, a dangerous divide is growing between Palestinians, many of them grieving fathers who lost their sons, brothers who lost their brothers, and settlers, Israelis living in the occupied West Bank, some of them accused of inciting violence against Palestinians. And now some Western nations are taking unprecedented action. The UK following the US by sanctioning some of those settlers. One settler on both lists, Yinon Levy. Our James Longman spoke to Levy and to the grieving father of a Palestinian American, 17 years old, killed in this violence, in tonight's Prime Focus.
This is the old village. This is the old houses.
Hafez Abdul-Jabbar is driving me around his West Bank village.
This is the house.
We stop outside his family's ancestral home.
And my grandfather and my dad was born in the room next to it. 1948, my dad and my grandfather in 1904. In this house right here, this is where we played all our childhood until 96 when I left. I was still living here.
Hafez's happy childhood memories are now colored by his new reality, the death of his son, Tawfiq.
This is the grave of Tawfiq. His grave is right there, inside this graveyard. You see where the flags is?
Just 100 meters from where his great-grandfather was born, Tawfiq Abdul-Jabbar is buried. Born and raised in New Orleans, 17-year-old Tawfiq has now become an accidental martyr for the Palestinian cause. Tawfiq had finished high school in New Orleans and was spending the year with his family. His father says he was getting to know his cousins and loving the chance of getting to know his roots. But one Friday in January, says his dad, he was driving to a picnic with a friend when he was killed on this hillside road. Hafez shows me the spot.
So we're looking at that dirt road just down there. That's the road where Tawfiq was killed.
He was ambushed, and they shot him and executed him from a very short distance. He didn't see them. He didn't see them coming, he didn't see them hiding. They just came out of the trees and just started shooting.
Bullet holes cover the back of the truck, and videos from the scene on the day show Tawfiq's blood in the footwell. The circumstances of his death remain unclear. In a statement, the IDF say they received a report of an off-duty police officer and a civilian who shot at a Palestinian suspected of throwing stones. An off-duty IDF soldier was also present at the point. The Israel police is reviewing the incident, in which the police investigation unit is cooperating with the military criminal investigation division.
Have you had any answers from the Israeli authorities?
From the first minute, they started telling lies that my son was throwing rocks. How can you throw a rock while he was driving? You're driving away. Clean heart, big heart, always smiles. Born and raised in New Orleans. 16 years there. He only been here for 9 months. It's not like he been here and he knows the situation. No, he doesn't know nothing. He's a young kid. The American consulate tell me that they're gonna do an investigation themselves. So I'm hoping for that, to find out who killed my son.
When Hafez got the news, he rushed to the site. He says IDF soldiers were there, pointing guns at him.
I took my son out with my bare hand. They don't understand that now my household is a whole different household from January 19th. It changed. It will be changed forever. They scarred my family like that. They did that to my family.
The State Department has said they hope and expect that the investigation will be conducted expeditiously. They continued, "We're eager to hear and learn of the findings." Since Hamas's October 7th attack, the United Nations has documented more than 500 incidents in the occupied West Bank, and violence by settlers has surged. In an unprecedented move, President Biden issued sanctions to 4 settlers accused of inciting violence or being involved in attacks on Palestinians. These initial sanctions aren't related to Tawfiq's murder. One of the most serious cases was an attack on the village of Kusra on October 12th. Ibrahim al-Wadi and his son Ahmed had been in a funeral procession for 4 other Palestinians allegedly killed by armed settlers a day earlier. According to eyewitnesses, they were set upon and shot to death in their car. The IDF says the incident remains under review and that Israeli border police is still under active investigation. Abdul Azim is Ibrahim's brother. He was there and says he was separated from them in the chaos.
You were stuck in a field for 2 hours. You didn't know what had happened, but you'd heard that your brother and his son had been killed in the car.
وأنا مش قادر أوصل لأخوي شو صار فيه، هل هو حي أو هو ميت. الكنا الأصدقاء موجودين وابن أبوي وابن أخوي مستشهدين. وبعدين إحنا نقلناهم، كنا في 4 شهداء صرنا في 6 ونقلناهم والله يرحمهم. كان يوم صعب جدا وراح يظل صعب.
Abdelazim says the deaths are hard, but he says the daily humiliation is almost unbearable.
So such is the level of fear that they live in, that they actually have a security system set up and they have cameras outside their house. And this is in case settlers come or anyone else comes and they have proof of what's going on here. And actually he says that just yesterday the Israeli army actually came through and there were images all over the village of his brother and his son who had been killed, and they were watching as Israeli armed forces just pulled down all those posters.
Watch as the soldier stops and then pulls down the poster. The IDF did not respond to this specific incident. Abdul walks me down to the cemetery where his brother and nephew were buried, past the stencils of them both that now adorn walls in remembrance. We go on to the road where they were killed.
I'm asking him what he makes of President Biden's decision to put sanctions on 4 individuals. He says, look, it's something to have hope about. You know, it's just the beginning, only 4, but maybe it's the start of something.
One of those sanctioned is 32-year-old Yinon Levy. He was not involved in the killings of Tawfiq, Ibrahim or Ahmed, but the Biden administration accused him of creating an atmosphere of fear in the West Bank. According to the announcement by the US State Department, Levy and other settlers at Meiterim Farm have repeatedly attacked Palestinian and Bedouin civilians and threatened them with additional violence if they don't leave their homes. Levy's wife Sapir shows me around their farm on this remote outpost. They keep sheep, she says, to claim territory on surrounding hills. Sanctions mean their bank accounts are frozen, making it more difficult to manage their business.
But what difference will the sanctions make to your business?
All of this, it's cost a lot of money that we work very hard to do all of this, and it's from my and my husband money all the time, and now it's blocked.
So could the sanctions cause this farm to shut down?
No, we won't let it.
Okay. So how will you get around it?
We're gonna work harder.
Sapir translates for us back in their kitchen.
We're here obviously because of what happened with the sanctions from the president. When did you find out that the sanctions had been put on you?
מתי גילית שעשו עליך סנקציות? יכול לענות בעברית. We both was very surprised that the president of the United States is interested in people like us in Israel, simple people.
Well, because the Biden administration said that you launched an attack on the Palestinian community, that you incite violence against Palestinians.
It's not true.
It's not true?
No.
So that's never, you've never...
We only, we here and we have to defend ourselves and nothing מעבר לזה.
ABC News obtained videos from April 2022 and March 2023 of Yinon Levy with his dog discouraging Arabs and activists from herding sheep in the area. In another video of Levy from October 2023, Levy is seen getting off a bulldozer with a weapon threatening Arab civilians. In a written response to the videos, Levy told us, "This is exactly what I explained. Anarchists come to our territory and do provocations. They disturb the soldiers, they attack us, the dog and the sheep on purpose and document it for provocation." Benjamin Netanyahu has come to the settlers' defense, condemning US sanctions. Israel acts against all Israelis who break the law everywhere. Therefore, exceptional measures are unnecessary. Back with the Levies, I explained that the international community hopes to create a Palestinian state and that their presence here is a major hurdle.
Right, that you're living on land which is designated as a Palestinian state. So you're living on land which is illegally occupied.
Us living here in Israel, it's the only option we have to the Jews. We all saw what happened when we didn't have a country. So we don't have another option.
These parts of the West Bank are not part of an Israeli state according to international law. Do you think one day perhaps there might be peace between your communities?
Only if the Arabs stop attacking us in violence attacked.
I'm standing in their houses and they're saying the same thing about you.
Yes, but I know who writes.
I walked to the nearby hillside with Levy.
Can I tell you the story of the 17-year-old boy? I just wonder what you would do in this situation.
He agrees.
So He was going to a farm for a picnic, for a cookout. He was driving in his truck with his friend. Out of nowhere, a group of people came out of the bushes. The Israeli authorities say either a settler or an IDF or a policeman, and they shot into the back of the truck. He was killed. What would you do if you were a member of his family?
ברור שאם הייתי במקומו הייתי כועס ומדבר, לא יודע, אני לא יודע להגיד לך מה הייתי עושה, אבל ברור שיש על דבר כזה כעס, אבל בוא נגיד, זה לא המציאות כאן.
Back in the car with Tawfiq's dad, we passed pictures of his young son.
How does it feel for you driving past his picture in your village?
It's painful. I'm proud that I'm happy that I brought him here. He lived very nice pictures all over him. But I'm happy for him that he lived and he was enjoying every minute of it. But it hurts for me to lose a 17 years old that he haven't lived his life. He had a whole life ahead of him.
The human reality of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and we thank James Longman for that report.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.